Anyway, the Heilige Rishon says, Rabbi Shlomo says, that Cheshvan comes from the word, you learned it already with them or not yet? The Chushe Merachshon Sif, that means, I'm still whispering all the prayers. I'm still whispering all the prayers. You know, when I go to a business meeting after it's over, I'm not going over it and remembering every word. It's over, that's it. They bought 20 bottles of Coca-Cola. When I meet someone I love very much, after it's over, then it only begins. Because it is so deep. It is so deep. I want you to know the deepest depths. It says, God says to Moshe, you can only see my back. That's my front. What does it mean? God doesn't have a front or a back. What it means is that you don't know the secrets of life while it's happening. You only know it after. Because at the moment when it happens, we don't even have lessons to receive it after. So Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret. While it's happening, it's so deep. I can't even fathom it. Then I need a whole month. Mamish, I need a whole month. And while it's happening, my lips inside of me, I'm still redoubling all the prayers. I want to sing with you just a little bit from Shoni Yom Kippur. I don't know if we did last year. Well, you know, the Nusach, you know, the way we chant the prayers of Shoni Yom Kippur is a little bit from the Holy Temple. Maybe we don't remember exactly every note, but basically it's from the Holy Temple. Let me ask something. Imagine the Tsar of Russia walks in. What are you going to sing? Dun, 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 dun. How does it sound to you? Okay, and everybody knows for Shoni Yom Kippur, Mamish, we are crowning God again. Coronation of the King of the world. So listen to this, the first song. It's okay. morning, Shmon Esra. Just do one more thing. Some story, you know, you sing on the Shema Shir, it's the deepest. So glad Judy and Shlomo were there and the children of the world. You know what they do at weddings? When the bride walks around 7 times? I began it a few weeks ago to sing on the Shema Shir 7 times. All the coffers here. I honor Hashem. Okay, okay, Chavi, give me 5 minutes again. I want you to know something. Most of the time, we always underestimate people. We always underestimate. I want you to know during the 6-day war, at one time I'm coming to an airfield, supposed to play, there was 16,000 soldiers. And I'm walking into the office of the, I don't know all those titles, like assistant general. Okay, I want you to know, I have a Chevron Yerushalayim, right? And there was a few kids, everybody said they should throw them out, Julie and Sean, their names right. Everybody says this one is no good, this one is no good. Get rid of it. But they don't. There was one young man with everybody's eyes really closed. I'm walking in. This boy said this one. He's one of the greatest heroes. And like the whole 6-day war was days, right? Within a few days, he became like, I don't know the title, next to general. What does it mean? You know what it means? That inside, you think about that. What you see from outside. What you see from outside is nothing. Friends, let me tell you something. I see a tree just dying from thirst, right? And this tree could, mamash, bring you about the most beautiful apples. Someone comes, brings some water. Crazy, what is water, right? You think water that makes this tree grow, you're crazy, right? You know what kind of power there is in every drop of water? I mean, if you would just come in from Mars to the world, someone shows you a drop of water. Nothing. I want you to know that this month belongs to Menashe. Is that getting emotional? You don't remember when he saw not yet? Okay, just in a nutshell. Menashe, everybody knows, is Oisios Nishama. The same letters like Nishama. Mem non Shine and Shine. What do we call Nishama? Nishama, the soul, is that which you cannot see. There are some people who only know what they see. There are some people, the water people, so deep. Water people are so deep. The Heilige Lublina says that until Parshas Lech Lecha, he couldn't sleep at night. Because from the beginning to read Bereshit, and they write the first day Adam and Eve already doing everything wrong. In vain, there's no hope for the world. Right the first day? Okay, Noah, you'd think about, the whole world is destroyed. Then Noah himself also started getting him out. And then the Tower of Babylon. It's the end of the world. Boy. Good shot speaking about it. For the first time we can sleep again. Because if there is one of wrong in the world is okay. And I have nothing new to tell you, but I'm sure Shalom taught to you, but maybe not. Everybody knows God made a covenant with Noah. The covenant with Noah was just that the world will always exist. There'll be no other flood. But the world must still go to the dawn. With God made a different covenant. The covenant with Avraham Avinu is that one day Mashiach is coming. One day the whole world will love each other. Because the Avim Kevis, one day the wolf will be together with the sheep. Different world. And here's the torah. I want you to know, for us the most important prayer is Shema Yisrael, right? To hear. When Mashiach is coming, it says, V'ro chalav se'oret, and it says, how's it supposed to be? V'ro chalav se'yachta l'kapirshim, give all the psukim, all the passages there, and we will see. So basically, our holy rabbis tell us like this. Outside Israel, the greatest level you can reach is the level of hearing. God says to Rome, go to the Holy Land, and the Oretz Asher Ha'eker. In Israel, you begin to see. But obviously, we're not talking about, God says, I'll buy you a new pair of glasses and you'll see better. I'll tell you, the only way I can, at this point, you know, I'll bring you a cute little Eskimo, and maybe that even be true, you know. For someone who doesn't know. Because I can't believe it, that it shouldn't affect even an Eskimo. But let's assume I'll bring someone who doesn't know anything about Jews, about anything. And I'll bring him to the Holy Wall, right? He looks at the Holy Wall, he sees stones, right? He measures the Amshna the Rebbe goes to. All the tzaddikim go to the Holy Wall. What they see, right? Oh, let's assume, you know, the way parents look at their own children. Something else, right? You know, you can love all the children in the world, but when you look at your own, it's not much a gift from heaven. Because this is so much inside stuff. That God Mamish lets us see the inside. So God says to Rome, go to the land, Asher Echo, which I will show you. I mean, God says, I will give you new eyes. I don't know if some of you remember, you know, the Heilige Rabbi Shlomo, the Yenuka Kedisha, he became a Rebbe when he was 5 years old. His father passed away. And the Chassidim decided he should be a Rebbe. And this is one like most unbelievable Rebbes, right? One of the most. The most. And you know, he was a Rebbe. He was 5 years old. He didn't stop playing ball. But in the meantime, in the middle of playing ball, the Gabba would go to him with the deepest respect, say, Rebbe, there's a woman here who needs a blessing to have children. And he would throw the ball and say, I should have. or someone comes, Rebbe, this Yidel is sentenced to be lifetime in Siberia. He say, no, I won't. Every word he uttered. Every word he uttered. Anyway, when he was 17 years old, he came to visit the Heilig of Shir Belzer. Shir Belzer was like the Rebbe of all the Rebbes. And in Belz, if you know you daven Mincha Shabbos. The Mincha always late, but Shabbos Mincha is like. It was Nagid would commit suicide before he daven Mincha then, because it's maybe already Tuesday, but it's absolutely not Shabbos. But in Belz, they daven Mincha and it's late. So they daven and they take out the Torah and you have to read from the Torah. So the Heilige Belzer says, Rabbi Shlomo, I'm giving you the honor of reading the Torah. So he says, Rebbe, Heilige Bezeruf, I can't see it, absolutely dark, right? So he says, I'm giving you my eyes. You see, when God says they won't go to the land, He doesn't tell them, Asher Tira, which you will see. He says, Asher Eka, I will show to you. Oh God. And here I want you to open your hearts. I'm sure I told it to you 1,000 times, but it's so beautiful. Listen, I like this girl, Hamina, very much, right? I have a date with her. So I look up in the Jewish press, kosher restaurant. Chinese kosher restaurant. Show my love to her. Yeah, did I tell you how, what will happen when Mashiach is coming? When Mashiach is coming, even the Chinese will eat Chinese food.
Not only the Jews.
Have you ever seen a Chinaman going to a Chinese restaurant? I've never seen it in my life. Only Yiddies, you know. It's true. Yeah, I once walked in, I had to make a phone call, and all the phones were broken. I walk in a Chinese restaurant. And who's sitting there? Obviously. This was not a kosher Chinese restaurant, an ordinary. And who's sitting there? A whole Jewish family. And you know, some kids, they're more open. There was a boy of 5 took a liking to me. And I was making the phone call and he was watching me. I'm coming out from the phone, I go up and give him a kiss and say, what's your Hebrew name? He said, Mordechai. His father, you know. He says, what a place to ask for a Hebrew name. So I said to him, what a place to take Montreal to eat. But anyway. Okay, so I like this girl. What did I say? Hamila very much. I'm taking it to kosher Chinese restaurant. I just looked it up in the Jewish press, and it's good enough. You know what the problem is? The problem is I'm not really madly in love with her. I like her. Imagine if I would be madly in love with her. I'm taking her to my favorite place. I'm taking her to a place nobody even knows that this place exists. I'm showing you my favorite place in the world. So Leiblega says, until Avraham Avinu was nobody in the world who was holy enough that God should show them his favorite place. Avraham Avinu, Hashem says, I want to show you. And here what you do in your heart. And this is the deepest reading. I will tell this girl, Ochel, you know, I like that you walk down the forest, go down, and there, it's a cute little place there. There's a bench under a tree. That's my favorite place. How does that sound to you? No. I have to take her there. I have to show it to her. I have to show it to her. And this is the deepest time in the world. Because basically, Avraham Avinu is prophecy. You know, if God says to me, I want to show you a street in Vancouver, I have to get there to see it. If I have clear prophecy, God will say, that street in Vancouver. So why does Avraham Avinu have to go there? But you know what it is? Even prophecy is not deep enough. God says to Avraham Avinu, I want you to go there. And I will show it to you. And all of the shack, I want to show you that now. Humanly speaking, Mamash God took Avraham by the hand, the woman saw, and the Mama showed them the land. That means suddenly Avraham Avinu had different eyes. Avraham Avinu has different eyes. I want you to know water and eyes are very, very deeply connected. Why is it that when something hurts you, you begin to cry? And water's coming out of your eyes. Why am I crying? Because everything looks so bad to me. Have you ever imagine something really hurts and you cry? It looks really bad. Because the tears. You know, when you have tears in your eyes, oh, you see something else. You see something else. I'll tell you something, you know, sometimes I watch the bride and the groom. The groom goes over to the collar to cover the face. And he has the same eyes like he looks at salami. I have to tell you something, it sounds real bad, but there's a boy in Yerushalayim, Judy and Sholem know him, I don't want to mention names. He's getting engaged every few weeks. Not to the same one, usually to another one. You know, this Rosh Hashanah, I said to God, bless you to find a chosen. She says, I'm not looking for a chosen, I'm looking for a husband, you know. A chosen you can always find. Anyway, so this time it says, Mamish, this is engagement, really forever. I want you to make the engagement. No, someone says, what can I do? In the meantime, he went to my house in the Montreal. And here, Dari, my daughter, says to him, aren't you excited getting engaged? He says to her, do you get excited over a new sandwich? I didn't last, only lasted 2.5 days. I forget. But who am I to play God and tell the girl he doesn't even mean him? For one day, it took him 2.5 days to tell. Anyway, what I want to tell you, sometimes the person, you know, tears doesn't mean sad, right? But tears means it touches. I'm seeing something with different eyes, right? Different eyes. You know what tears are? If God wants to show me something awesome, God takes my eyes into the mikveh. The tears are the mikveh of my eyes. Well, do I see something? I mean, can you stand by the holy wall just look at the stones? Sure, if you stand there, what do you see? Stones. But if you have Avraham Avinu's eyes, come on, what you see? Come on, what you see? But here, I want you to know the deepest depths. God says to Avraham Avinu, the whole generation, Sodom has to be wiped out, right? The worst. What's Avraham Avinu saying? Avraham Avinu says, give me 50 tzaddikim. I'm going to make I'll make Mashiach out of it. Why was Avraham Avinu praying for Sodom? Because Avraham Avinu saw that Mashiach is coming out of Sodom, right? Our Holy Mother Ruth. Lord, it's coming from Sodom. Remember, Avraham Avinu saw how much Mashiach is coming out of Sodom. He says, you can't destroy it. And because of Avraham Avinu's prayers, Lot was saved. And his 2 daughters. And his great-granddaughter's Ruth. What did he see? Oh, he saw something else. He saw something else. You know why the water was so angry at Noah? If you remember? God saved Noah. He could have told him, get yourself a little Rockefeller Center. It's a big house, and you live in the penthouse, and the flood won't touch you. You know what the Medrash says? That the waters Mamish wanted to drown him. God had to save him every second because the water were angry at him. Why were the water angry? The water were angry that he didn't look at his whole generation with different eyes. I want you to know something real deep. Imagine you love somebody very much. When someone says to you this, they're very bad, how do you react? If someone says to you about somebody you love, they're very bad, and you say, yeah, it's true, they're very bad, you don't love them. You don't. You know how much Avraham Avinu loved every human being? God says to him, they're bad. The master of the world says to them, they're bad. And he says, Master of the world, I love you, I believe in you, but don't tell me. Don't tell me. They just want to show something else. I want you to know, before Adam and Eve ate the forbidden fruit, there was so much wonders in the world. You know what the tree of knowledge is? It's not the knowledge of good and evil. It's separating everything. This is good, this is bad. This beautiful is not so beautiful. You're from, you're not so from. Mama's breaking everything up, right? Tree of life. Everything is one, right? So I want you to know something. This is Mama's team. You know how close you are to God? As close as you are to people. Simple as it is. Remember, maybe Shlomo told you the story. It's such a simple story, but such a good story. I think I told it on just now. Yeah. The Heilige Pinchas Korzer, you know, the house of Chassidim, it was one of the three greatest pupils of the Bat Shem. 1 week before Rosh Hashanah, he thought to himself, you know, it's crazy. Thousands of people come to talk to me, and I'm wasting all this time. You imagine if people would hate me, it would be an unbelievable life. I could study, I could daven, and Mama serve God like a match. And you know, tzaddikim, when they ask something of God, he's doing it. So, see what it is? He forgot to mention that his wife and children should still love him, but he forgot to mention it. So, suddenly from heaven, everybody hates him. He walks out from shul, nobody blessed him, everybody turns away. Comes home, he has 2 children, run away. His wife slams the door in his face. So first, really feels bad. Then I think it's gefallen, right? How much time I waste with my children, with my wife. Now, Mamash, I'm a free person. I can, Mamash, serve God the whole time. Rosh Hashanah, he held out. Yom Kippur held out. Sukkot, everybody knows. Sukkot, every night the holy guests come, right? So he thinks this is gefallen. Every year there's so many hundreds of people in my Sukkot, I never have a chance to talk to Avraham. This night, Mamash, I'll be alone in the Sukkah. Everybody hates me, and I'll have time to be in Mamash Avraham. Mamash and talk to him. He begins to say, Azaman is Sadosi, Shpiz Neloin. I'm inviting the holy guests. Nobody comes. That's really sad. So he walks out from the Sukkah, and he thinks, there's Avraham Avinu, our holy father Abraham, standing there. He said, Avraham Avinu, holy grandfather, well, why did you come to my sukkah? He said, I'll tell you the truth. If everybody hates you, I hate you also. I want you to know something. Imagine I would need something earth-shaking. Mamish earth-shaking. I can only ask somebody who Mamish and feel close to. You imagine I would need someone right now to get up and walk barefoot to someone says, for real. whom could I ask? I can only ask someone who really is my best. Even best friend is not enough. I don't know why. See, Noach was never that close. He was not that close. As a Kim is no, it was very holy, very fun. He had Shabbos, not kosher meat. I'm sure Mrs. Noach had the shades and everything. And I'm sure the 3 children of Noach went to kosher cheder, right? But how close are you? How close are you? You know about Avraham Avinu? Why Avraham Avinu could ask God to save Sodom? Because he was so close to God. And here I want to open my heart, your heart. What's the essence of Yiddishkeit? How does Yiddishkeit begin? Yiddishkeit begins at Avraham and Sarah crying for a baby. That's the whole thing. Rochel Mavakal B'nei. These things. Daber B'nei Yisrael. Don't do the Shuvah. Everything's true. I want you to know something. You know who's teaching the word closeness? I want you. You know, when they are born, they don't know anything, right? They don't know if their mother's beautiful or ugly. They don't know if their father's a creep or not. Children really think their parents are the best. Children, mamish, absolutely believe. You know, I always think to myself, you know, when the kids never find out their parents are not the best, mamish like Tisha B'Av. The destruction of the temple. So when did Avraham Avinu suddenly feel close enough to God to ask he should even save Sodom? After the angel came and told him you have a son Yitzchak, he was really like Yitzchak was on his way down. I want you to know the deepest depth. Why didn't Adam Rishon ask God, I'm sorry, you know, I did it. Let me stay in paradise. Everybody knows if we would have sat together, we would have let him stay. Made a mistake, we'll fix it. Because he never seen children. What are children all about? Making mistakes all the time. How do you teach children how to walk? One step and they fall, one step and they fall. I remember one time I gave a concert somewhere. There were little groups dancing. By the way, maybe it was for some kind of a yeshiva. And there were about 30 kids dancing. You know the way they dance? Little kids, 5, 6, 7. They fall down, they get up. They fall down, they get up, right? Who cares, right? But then I watched there was an older group dancing of people. One man, not even so old, maybe 45. He fell. That moment the whole dancing stopped. Because he doesn't know the secret. The older we get, the less we know. Fall down, you get up. Fall down, you get up. It's fun, right? Imagine it would always be so holy. That would be the most boring place in the world. You know what Ishmael said? You know how much we owe Chava for eating the tree of knowledge? Imagine we would have not eaten the tree of knowledge. We would never ever do anything wrong. What's the Torah all about? The whole Torah is making mistakes and doing something wrong. Imagine nobody in the world ever stole. Would be half the Talmud would be off, right? Where's Bobakama? Where's Bobabasa? You know what all the tshuvas are all about? The tshuvas is when something goes wrong with. When something goes wrong. What's the depth of that? the depth of life is. How to fix it. Imagine what we ever think. First of all, half the Jewish boys would have no parnasa, because all the doctors, everybody would be well. So you remember the Ishbitzer says the word Chava is translated, how do you translate Chava? Ordinary way. She is the mother. You know what the Ishbitzer says? Chava comes from the word Yechavidos. Chava means to show something which we could never get on our own. Suddenly you realize that because of her, I have a different vision of life. Because I thought life is only you do good, 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 and if you make a mistake, you're out. So you see, friends, this month, the whole month is mamish, testing ourselves. How deep, how did Rosh Hashanah give us most Torah reach? Have you ever seen some people dance with the Torah? It's like they're carrying a Coca-Cola bottle in their hands, right? And some people not. I had the privilege of seeing the Bob of Heaven. Thousands more still here. The tears. I had once the privilege, Mamish, once in Montreal, as a Friedrich Rebbe, I had the privilege, the Rebbe couldn't walk around. He was sitting on his chair, and he had a Torah. You could be a Jew forever, just for that 1 second to see how the Rebbe was holding the Torah. I think he shared with you once. On some Torah, you make hug, you lift up the Torah like this, right? You just lift up like this, and it's the end. So you have on one hand the whole Torah. It's like, I don't know how to even say it in good English. You turn it around. It's very heavy. Everybody knows that Shotker never ate in his life. Who knows how little he weighed? On the Torah, he would usually lift up the Torah, walks up, and stuff like that. Say, Rabbi, how did you do it? He says the Torah is only heavy if you don't keep it. If you keep it. Want to know something? I remember once it was a big rain, and I was walking with the Shlomo. She was already maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I must have carried her maybe 2-3 miles. And it wasn't heavy. The class was so special. On Simchas Torah, we are not learning the Torah. On Simchas Torah, I'm just close to the Torah. Just close. Then I begin to Torah again. So here the Pshizcha says everybody has to know. Until I get there, until I get where I'm supposed to be, I have to go through so much pain sometimes. It's from Clinton, yeah? Oh yes, man. Still my simple Atzecho man, yeah? Okay, I'll sing it in 1 minute, yeah? You know, friends, that water has no name for one drop of water. Mine is always plural. Because water is, one drop is so close to the other. One drop is so close to the other. You know what makes a tree grow? You take a little seed, put it in the earth. You know what brings to grow? When the seed gets close to the earth. But they have to get close. And there's nobody in the world who can get them close with water. Only water gets them close. So anyway, I want you to know this month is mamish. The deepest test in the world is how close are you to God, to Yid? How close are you? If you still walk around, mamish davening all the prayers of Yom Kippur. Some stuff. I mean, imagine the world. They would say, you know, I went to a Chinese restaurant, then I went to a movie, then again went to a show, had a good time. How long are you living from it? Until the next morning you don't remember. And here, mamish, B'shon Yom Kippur and torah, mamish keeps us alive. Friends. Well, you know something awesome? Is there a country where people who live there feel so close to it, like Carlebach? Is there a country in the world? You know what it is? I remember during the 6-Day War, it was written on all the newspapers. All our enemies, we start mentioning the names, would add the newspapers, please come back to fight, right? How many people how many showed up? In the whole world. 8 little Arabs came back to fight. 8 Arabs in the world. And there are 100 million times more than we need. For us Yidden, all the plans were around. People went back to Eretz Yisrael even just without a seat. Just mamish lying on the airplane. You know what it is? You can live in Los Angeles, but close. I want to close. You see what it is? The world wants to make peace without being close. It doesn't go this way. Okay? You see, peace is the highest form of closeness. You know, I can never go very much, we always fight. If you're not close, right? How often you hear this, yeah, I love him very much, I love her very much, we can't stop fighting. But what's the problem? We're not close. Why on Shabbos I say Shabbat Shalom and Ruach? Because on Shabbos, so close. Why do we have to go to the mikveh before Shabbos? Okay, the taste of closeness. You remember one of the mitzvahs God gave to Chava after she ate the tree of knowledge was mikveh. It's the tree of knowledge. It's know what close is. The tree of knowledge knows only one thing. Is it good or bad? Are you frum? Are you not? Are you beautiful? Are you ugly? I'm going to take the torah, right? I think I shared it with Shalom and Judy, but I didn't tell it to you. It's a good Torah to remember. A few years ago, on Simchas Torah, the night after Simchas Torah was over, Hakafot Shniyot, they make a chorus all over Israel. Religious, non-religious, everybody comes to the marketplace, thousands of people, to bring out the Torahs on the dance, right? So that particular year I was invited. Actually, I was invited in 3 places, but let's say 1 hour here, 1 hour there. Coming to this place, then maybe I would say 20, 30,000 people. The whole city came out to the marketplace. And the mayor comes and greets me, and he says, I want you to know I didn't come because I'm religious, because I'm not. I only came, he said, because I like humanities. Good. And then they give everyone the Torah, the mayor also walks away. Skip out, After the whole thing is over, he comes up to me and says, I tell you the truth, I was lying. I changed my mind. I am religious. I want you to know, I'm teaching literature at one of the University of Tel Aviv somewhere. And I told him, if I would walk around with Shakespeare, would people jump on me to kiss the book? Would people dance like crazy? There is nothing in the world. I can walk in the marketplace. Thousands of kids. Their eyes are glowing. They jump out to kiss the Torah. What is it? What is it to kiss the Torah? What is the essence of Shoni Yom Kippur? The essence is to be so close. I want you to know something really awesome. Anything I'm very, very close to, I can whisper about it. And if something more, I can only whisper about it. Because I'm sure when you're the same way. I always judge husband and wife by how loud they talk to each other. When I walk into a house and they talk very loud, it's on the way out, the whole night. You talk soft, whisper. When are we closest to God? Shwan asked her away. Completely silent. Anyway, we got to sing simple. What's that over his brother here? This is yours, isn't it? Okay. What's that? What is wondrous? Singing before Le'acharet Ha'po Rebei V'Sosoi Le'Hatinehu Adonai, 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 Adonai. Why don't you play a little bit? Whose guitar is it?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
So let's go. never know. You never know for whom the song. What? Dum da da dum da da dum.